And now let's head to the field for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play.
And good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to Westfield, New York, on the campus of Westfield Central School, where the CSP Wolfpack play game number 3 of the week against the Westfield Wolverines. I'm Kyle Hinsdale, joined by my partner, Pat Catanese, and we're excited to bring you the second game in a row, third game of the week. Pat, any early game thoughts as we're about to see the first pitch here?
No, the boys, I talked to the coach earlier and asked him if he had a conversation with him. Talked to the coach earlier and asked him if they had a conversation on the bus about base running, and he said yes, they did.
Yeah, base running was a bit of an issue last night, and CSP with a what ultimately ended up being an 8-3 victory over the Casadega Valley Cougars. So CSP start with their traditional lineup today. Austin White in the leadoff spot, Bryce Hinsdale batting second, and Gabe Roth batting third. And there's a ball inside, so we're getting our bearings here, but hopefully everybody's able to see okay on Facebook Live. And there's a well-hit ball to right field, and the right fielder's going back, and
it's out of here.
That is a home run for Austin White. So first batter of the game, and Austin White puts one over the fence. I think that's our first home run of the year,
I
Pat.
think you're correct, yes. Boy, he hit that ball well.
Boy, he did hit it.
And he needs that. He's been hitting it better the last few games, so he was in a bit of a slump to start out. But
yeah, that was a well-hit ball, and Pat, I think that's just a carryover from Monday night. Monday night, Austin ended that game with a shot very similar to that.
Correct.
This one just had a little bit more air on it.
Yep.
And
there seems to be an issue with Bryce's equipment.
They did not like that being on his belt, I guess.
It's on everybody's belt. I know Tate has one on his.
So yeah, quick delay here. So CSP first batter, Austin White, with his first home run of the season over the right field fence, and that's going to be a ground ball to second, and that's going to be out number 1. So Bryce grounds out to the second baseman, and that's going to bring Gabe Roth to the plate.
He'll tell you that's why he doesn't hit the first one.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue was with that play card on Bryce's belt, but the umpire didn't like it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that have it, so they're going to want to be taking that off. Everybody's up swinging at the first pitch, and Gabe's going to be a pop-up to shortstop, and he's going to get underneath it. So 2 quick outs here, 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Westfield pitcher, who today is Vacante.
Vacante, yeah. All right, Trent, let's go with 2 outs here.
Yeah, there's a strike on the inside part of the plate. So Trent's been a hot hitter for the Wolfpack. Westfield playing straight away here. And there's a ball high. We got good angle today, Pat, right behind home plate. Hopefully those on watching on Facebook have a good view today.
Ball in the dirt.
There's a ball in the dirt. It's going to get away from the catcher. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Trent Burchanowski.
Can't complain about the weather today, though, can we?
No, it's beautiful.
Three and one, I believe, right, Kyle?
Yep, 3 balls and 1 strike. Top of the first, 1-0 Wolfpack after a home run to lead off the game for Austin White.
Right.
And that's ball 4, so Trent's going to make his way down to first. Trent with a good-sized lead at first, and there's strike number 1. So Vacante up early, no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue was with Kyle. Oh, pop-up by Tate.
There's a pop-up. That might be trouble, Pat. But the center fielder comes in and makes a grab. That was a little eventful, but either way, it's an out. So the Wolfpack strand 1 here in the top of the first, but Austin White gets his leadoff home run across over the fence, and CSP leads 1-0 here early after half inning. We'll be right back.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause. So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganello. I'm Matt Damon. And cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Welcome back to CSP Wolfpack Baseball here on Channel 98.9 and Facebook Live. We want to welcome those viewers that are tuning in on Facebook. CSP with an early 1-0 lead after a half inning on Austin White's leadoff home run over the it was a home run, Pat, that you could trot.
Yep, right over the fence.
Right over the fence.
I wondered why that right fielder didn't take off going like he did, and he just kind of watched it, which he must have known it was hit very well.
So for CSP today, it's going to be Gabe Roth getting his second start of the week. Gabe started the game on Monday night
against Pine Valley.
Against Pine Valley, and now gets the call again tonight after a good performance last night by Bryce Hinsdale. One hit baseball through 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. So good outing last night for Bryce. And Trent Burchanowski came in relief and did a nice job. So Grant Lictus behind the plate. Bryce Hinsdale is going to be at first. Trent Burchanowski at second. Austin White at short. Tate Catanese is going to man the hot corner. Looks like Dylan Michael in left. Blake Copta in center, and Caden Beckrink in right. So traditional lineup for the Wolfpack with Gabe on the mound. And leadoff batter, number 11, Phillips, for the Wolverines, he's going to look at strike one.
I really would like to see Gabe get off to a hot start tonight, Kyle. Just like, we got to have another game tomorrow night, so we got to stretch these pitchers out the best we can.
Yep. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So Gabe up early, no balls and 2 strikes.
So if Gabe throws a nice game tonight, we still got Austin and Tate available tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll be in good shape tomorrow. There's a ball outside, so good waste for Gabe.
Did we ever get a pinch count on Bryce last night?
71.
So he's good. He's good.
So he could pitch, I think, tomorrow.
Correct. I think you're correct.
And there's Phillips stays alive with a foul ball, so remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, Pat, second game in a row, third game of the week. Got one tomorrow night in Chautauqua Lake, starting at 5 o'clock here on Channel 98.9. And there's a curveball in for a strike. Swing and a miss for Phillips for strikeout number 1 for Gabe Roth.
Yeah, looking at my chart here, Kyle, you said he had 71.
Yes.
So for May and June, he only has to have 2 nights rest, which would be Wednesday night, Thursday night.
Yep.
So he would be available tomorrow also.
Yep. So that's going to bring Russo to the plate, playing shortstop for the Wolverines today. And there's a ground ball to short. Austin White comes up throwing, and that's going to be out number 2 of the inning. So good job by Austin. Good catch by Bryce at first. And 2 up, 2 down so far here in the bottom of the first.
Kyle, I did hear that the Tuesday night game against Frewsburg, we're going to start early. I believe it's senior night.
Oh.
And I believe there's a band concert that night in Panama. So a lot of things going on.
Got it. Okay.
Plus they got to play it is the top team in our division.
Top team in the league, yeah.
So.
Yep.
Never been much of a fan of those senior nights only because it takes the kids out of the game for first 2 innings or first quarter of basketball. But it's well-deserved, too.
Yep. So that's going to bring Bratton to the plate, batting in the number 3 spot for the Wolverines. And I believe the count is 1 ball and 1 strike here. And there's a foul tip right back onto the field. So that's strike number 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the batter. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And there's a ground ball to third. It pops up nicely for Tate. He comes up, makes the throw, and Bryce makes the scoop. And good throw, good scoop there by Bryce at first. And CSP goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. So after 1, Wolfpack lead by a score of 1-0. We'll be right back.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Cornerstone Restaurant and Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. The Cornerstone offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and baked goods. The phone number is 716-234-4002, or find them on Facebook. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Cornerstone in Sherman for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center. Serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at ClymerHardwareandHomeCenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Welcome back to CSP Wolfpack Baseball here on Channel 98.9. We're broadcasting live from Westfield, New York, where the CSP Wolfpack Baseball team is taking on Westfield Wolverines. CSP with a 1-0 lead here after one, and Grant Lictus is going to lead us off in the top of the second.
That was a ball outside. Grant's starting to hit the ball. He's starting to see it better and hit it.
Yeah, he had a big hit last night. There's a big swing and a miss for strike one, so 1-1. Might be the new helmet, Pat.
I think that could be helpful. All right,
Yeah.
all right. That's, he
He
stepped out and
quick pitched him there.
still
And
quick
there's-
pitching.
So 1-2 strikes to Grant Lictus after following that ball back.
This kid wants to pitch quick, so.
And there's a ground ball. Shortstop bobbles it a little bit. He throws, and I think he beat it. He did. So infield single for Grant Lictus. Good hustle there by the big junior from Clymer, and that's going to give CSP with their first with leadoff runner on. And that's going to bring Dylan Michael to the plate. Dylan getting at bats today. Or no, I'm
this
sorry.
This is Kopta.
Blake Kopta,
yeah.
Sorry.
And Dylan is going to get at bats
is.
today. He's on deck.
Yep, I saw him go grab the bat, I think. I think that's why I thought that. So Blake Kopta at the plate now. And there's a well-hit ball to left field,
Over
and
his
that's going
head.
to drop. So that ball is going to get to the fence, and Grant's on his way to third, and he's going to be in, and Blake's going to have a stand-up double. So we've got a single and a double to start off the top of the second. And that's going to bring – now it's going to bring Dylan Michael
yep.
to the plate.
I think he got a strike there, Kyle.
Yep, no balls and one strike. Dylan, who had been playing the field previous two games and was being DH'd by Drake DiDomenico, gets the at-bats today, so looking forward to him producing in this 8th spot. And there's a well-hit ball, and that's going to get to the outfield, so that's going to score one, and Blake is going to have to hold up at third, but Dylan Michael with an RBI.
Driving it up in the air, except for Austin, of course.
Yeah, he drove it up in the air.
Yeah, he did. But the
drove
other,
it a long way.
Bryce hit a grounder, and the other three hit pop-up. So they just got to relax and hit the ball and not try to power it.
All right, runners at first and third, and there goes Dylan, and that's going to be a foul ball back behind home plate. So Dylan's going to have to retreat back to first.
He doesn't mind.
No. So no outs here. Boy, this pitcher moves quick.
Yes, he does. You got to be ready.
Oh, Dylan Michael on first, Blake Kopta on third. I would imagine Dylan may be going, and there he goes. And and Caden Beckrink with the foul ball, so he's
wrecking Dylan's steal here.
Yeah.
But it could be a hit and run, too. We don't know. We haven't picked up on the signals yet, Kyle.
So 2 strikes here on Caden Beckery. And there he goes, and no throw down. So Dylan Michael, after 2 previous attempts, finally gets his stolen base in the stats. There's a ball inside for ball 4. So now bases are loaded for home run hitting Austin White, who led this game off with a home run over the right field fence. And now he comes up in the top of the second.
Well, Austin was hardly in the box, and that kid was throwing the pitch.
I can barely talk, Pat, before this thing is on its way in.
So I think that was a ball.
No outs. Bases loaded.
Ball 1.
And there's a ground ball to first. He's going to come home with it. There's out at home, and so
good play there.
Well played by number 99 Fuller at first base. Did his job, which was ground ball. I'm going home with it. So still bases loaded with now 1 out, and Bryce Hinsdale comes to the plate. Ball's outside. Bryce grounded to second base his first time up. See if he can find a hole somewhere. Love to see him hit one right down left field line. And there's a ground ball. That's double play action there. And that ball is going to get by the shortstop, and that's going to score 2. So Dylan Michael and Caden Beckering both cross the plate on the bad exchange from second to short, trying to at least get the runner at second. And as a result, CSP leads by a score of 4-0. Still with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Runners at first and second. And there's a ground ball up the middle, and here comes Austin White around third. They're going to cut off the throw, so Austin White's going to stand up and get run number 5, and Gabe Roth with an RBI single here in the bottom of the second. And Trent Burchanowski is going to come to the plate with runners at first and third with still 1 out. This might be as good as of hitting expedition that CSP's had all year, Pat.
Yeah.
They're really hitting the ball well.
What do we got? Guys on
first and third,
first
1
and
out.
Third. Well, I bet Gabe doesn't stay at first very long.
And there he goes.
There's
and
a
there's
base
hit to left field between short and third. Gabe's going to make his way to third. And so that's going to be an RBI single for Trent Burchanowski as Bryce Hinsdale crosses the plate. And that's going to make it 6-0 Wolfpack. Again, first and third with 1 out. Tate Catanese comes to the plate.
Hope he follows what the other ones have been doing, just making contact.
Yep, and there goes Trent. No throw. So now runners stolen base, stand-up stolen base for Trent Burchanowski. And with a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. And there's a base hit up the middle, and that's going to more than likely score 2, Pat. Gabe Roth scores, ball's cut off, and Trent is going to score, and everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. So 2 RBI single for Tate Catanese, and that's going to make the score 8-0.
8-0.
And Grant Lictus, who I believe led off the game.
Led off the inning,
I'm sorry, led off the inning, is back up to bat. Still with only 1 out here in the bottom of the second. CSP up 8-0. And they just continue to hit the ball hard, Pat, and find holes in this defense. There's Tate with a steal, and he was halfway to second base before that catcher even threw it. So, stolen base for Tate Catanese. Who in a couple weeks will be dancing with these guys in the Westfield prom. And there's a fly ball
Grant.
to left field, center field. The center fielder's underneath it. And that's going to be out number 2. So good contact by Grant Lictus. Just got it in the air just a hair too much.
Yeah, but I'm so happy to see him making contact
Yep.
now. I think his confidence was low a week ago, but I think it's coming back now. So that would be helpful.
Yep. And there's a foul ball back behind us for quick strike 1 on Blake Kopta. Man, the action is moving fast here, Pat. Whew. Tate Catanese is second base. Oops, and that got away from him, and that's going to allow Tate to get to third, and that is ball 1 to Blake. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the number 7 hitter for the Wolfpack. And there's a ball, gets by him, and here comes Tate, and he's going to be sliding in safe. So that is run number 9 of the inning for the Wolfpack here in the bottom of the second. And we've got 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter, Blake Kopta, with 2 outs.
I think he has 2 balls on him too, doesn't he, Kyle?
Yeah, 2 balls and 1 strike, I think.
There's a strike.
And there's a strike right at the knee, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there's a pop-up to left field. Left fielder running underneath it, and he makes the grab. So Westfield Wolverines get out of the inning, but not until the Wolfpack put 8 across the board to make it 9-0 after 2. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Welcome back, where CSP Wolfpack lead the Westfield Wolverines by a score of 9-0. CSP putting up 8 runs in the top of the second. And the CSP is going to see 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Westfield. I like our chances, Pat, when you give Gabe Roth a 9-run lead.
I agree. I agree. He can relax out there and just throw strikes.
And
it's right over our head, Cal.
Fuller's up there swinging at the first pitch, and that ball's foul out of play for strike one.
I don't disagree with him striking or swinging at the first pitch, because Gabe usually he's really trying to get ahead, so he throws grooves that first one normally.
There's a nice curveball in for strike two, so Gabe up early, no balls and 2 strikes. And there's strike 3 right at the knees and on the outside part of the plate. So strikeout number 1 of the inning for Gabe Roth. And that's going to bring Baum to the plate. Catcher today for the Wolverines. I've been over here a lot of times for a baseball game, Pat, but this may be the nicest weather day.
Yeah,
it's normally windy
and cloudy. Yeah. It's a nice facility, though. This is a great field.
That first pitch, I believe, was a strike. Ball's in the dirt there, and that gets by Grant.
Westfield must have some projects going on here at the school, because there's a whole bunch of trailers over in that one parking lot.
I see that. So 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. No, they're not portable classrooms.
Could be the hospital.
Sometimes we get bad information, Pat. That's bad information.
That's from the heckler that is always close to us.
That's bad information. And there's strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Baum did not like that, and I probably don't.
I don't disagree with him.
Nope. I'm right on the outside part of the plate here, and that ball was a good 4 or 5 inches on the outside. But either way, strikeout number 2 of the inning for Gabe Roth, and that's going to bring Westfield starting pitcher Picante to the plate. The ball low to start off. There's a nice curveball in for a strike. Swing and a miss. That one had a little bit of movement on it,
Yes,
Pat.
it did. I thought it was going to be inside, and it just tailed in over the plate nicely.
1 ball, 1 strike. And there's a ground ball to first base, and Bryce Hinsdale's going to get it and step on the bag. So 1, 2, 3 inning again for the Wolfpacks. 6 up, 6 down through 2 innings. And after 2, the Wolfpack lead 9-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane and Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center. Serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at ClymerHardwareandHomeCenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
Welcome back to Westfield, New York, where the Wolfpack lead this league game by a score of 9-0 after scoring 8 in the top of the second. And as we start the top of the third, Westfield's going to have a new pitcher. Bratton going to move from his second base spot into the pitcher's role. So Vacante, 2 innings, 9 runs on his outing today.
I think he moved to right field, Kyle. That's correct. Yep. There he is.
So it's going to be
Dylan
8, 9, and 1
right.
for the Wolfpack.
Dylan's going to start us off here and get a hit
in the top of the third.
He got a hit last time he was up to bat.
We'll see how CSP hitters adjust to the new pitcher. They had kind of gotten a groove on Vacante.
Yeah.
And so we'll see if they can find that same groove against Bratton. And there's a ball high for ball 1.
Well, I can already tell he doesn't work as fast as Vasante did.
No, that is the truth there. Whew. 1 ball, no strikes to Dylan Michael. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Ball's in on the inside part of the plate.
It may have curved a little bit.
Yeah, there's strike number 2. So Bratton comes in and is ahead of his first batter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That ball's inside and gets away from Baum. So counts all even, 2-2. And that's ball 3, so full count here.
Be nice to have the lead runner on.
Caden Beckerink on deck, the number 9 hitter for the Wolfpack. And there's strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. So Bratton faces 1 batter and has 1 strikeout here in the top of the third, and that's going to bring Caden Beckerink to the plate.
Umpire has a large zone today, and they got to realize that because he's calling a lot of strikes.
There's a nice curveball that goes away from the left-handed hitter.
I think that Caden watched the last hitter and saw them outside and inside pitches being called strikes and didn't want to leave that one alone.
Yeah, that one's a little too far outside.
Correct.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. He's living on that outside part of the plate.
Sure is.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Caden Beckerink. There's a swing and a miss, and he caught it. So strikeout number 2 of the inning for Bratton. And Austin White going to come to the plate, who had a home run back in the first inning to lead off the game and then had a fielder's choice back in the second inning. Yeah, that ball is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The center fielder shading Austin closer to the right field. There's a pretty good sized hole between left and center.
There's a giant hole. Yeah, he just waits on one a little bit and drives it over there. He might get an inside the park one there.
Meanwhile, the right fielder is almost on the foul line. He's real tight to the edge. So I think it's 2 balls and 1 strike here to Austin White. And there's strike 2. That was a good pitch there by Bratton.
Austin thought about it, then he held up on it.
So full 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, there's a ground ball to the shortstop. He's going to come up throwing and got by the first baseman. And that is going to be an error there, and Austin's going to reach first base. So 2 outs here, right, Pat?
2 outs.
And the top of the third, CSP with their first base runner of the inning, and that's going to bring Bryce Hinsdale to the plate. And Austin's going to be checked, and he's safe. Same setup that they defensively that they had for Austin, Pat, they've got for Bryce. So same idea here. There's a big gap between left and center, and they're check them again.
Yes, there is. Wow.
So we'll see if Bryce can find a hole here. And Austin's going to take off and steal, and he's going to slide in safe for a successful stolen base. So the Wolfpack get a runner in scoring position.
Kyle, we're already running the bases better than we did all of last night. So.
Yeah. No balls and 1 strike to Bryce. That ball's just on the outside part of the plate.
Boy,
so.
I thought that was going to be called one there.
Yep.
He's been calling those, so.
1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the third, 9-0 Wolfpack. 2 outs with a runner on second. And Bratton steps off. That ball's outside. He's been trying to live out there for sure.
He's inside on the right-handers and outside on the lefties.
So 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball's inside. So 3-1 to the number 2 hitter for CSP.
Good eye.
Yeah, that ball is high, so base on balls. So with 2 outs here in the top of the third, CSP gets the last 2 batters on, and we'll see if we can do some damage with 2 outs here. And that's going to bring big hitting Gabe Roth to the plate.
Gabe had a single in the second inning also.
Now they're going to check Austin back at first or second. And everybody's running, and here comes Austin's going to slide into third safely. So stolen base for Austin White, stolen base for Bryce Hinsdale, and that gets runners now at second and third. So after getting the first 2 batters of the inning, CSP trying to cause some damage here with 2 outs. And
turned on that ball. I thought that was going to hit him.
I thought it did.
I thought that ball was going to hit him.
I thought it was going to hit him too.
And he turned nicely on it.
I thought it was going to hit him as well. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Gabe Roth here. And there's a base hit or a hit to left field, and the left field's underneath it.
Okay.
And that is out number 3. So CSP here in the top of the third strands 2. And it remains 9-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Mosher's has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Welcome back, where we've played 2.5 innings here in Westfield, New York, and CSP leads by a score of 9-0. Gabe Roth getting his 3rd inning of the game after starting.
God, I'd like to throw out a happy birthday wish to someone today.
Oh, yeah?
Braden Cook turned 21 today.
Holy cow. He's not old enough to be.
He's old enough to be 21.
Holy
yes, he is.
Cow. Well, happy birthday to Braden Cook.
Old CSP first baseman.
Make sure he behaves himself tonight.
Yeah. Braden will behave himself. That's a guarantee.
All right, so Westfield's going to bring
7, 8, 9
to the plate. They went 1-2-3 in both the first and second inning, so Gabe's faced the minimum number of batters through 2 innings, and he leads off Stein with a foul tip for strike 1.
Oh, that was a nice curve. I thought that was going to hit the young man. It did. Wow.
So curveball just on the inside part of the plate, so 1 ball and 1 strike. Two balls and 1 strike. CSP been fairly efficient defensively today. Gabe's been efficient on the mound, and when they do make contact, defense has been playing well.
Yeah.
Behind him, so. And there's strike 2. That was right down the middle.
That's from what I see right now. Gabe could live and die by the fastball, I think, here today. But that curveball is mixing them up.
Yep. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stein. The ball's in the dirt. Good stop by Grant there. And that's going to bring the count to full. Stein playing center field for the Wolverines today, and there's a pop-up that's going to get out of play and miss my vehicle. Just for the record, I'm going on record to say that vehicle should have been moved, but my wife refuses to move it, so if that gets hit, we know whose fault it is. Right, Pat?
I'm not going to say a word, Kyle. I'll stay right out of that.
Stays full count here to Stein. There's a swing and a miss on a nice curveball, and Grant caught that. So that is out number 1 of the inning, and that's going to bring Lawrence to the plate.
Left fielder, he's had some work today.
Busy today. in the field. Ball low, fastball low. For ball one, CSP leads 9-0 here in the bottom of the third. CSP plays their fourth and final game of the week. There's a strike.
Nice curveball there.
1-1. They play their fourth and final game of the week tomorrow night at 5 p.m. in Chautauqua Lake. You can catch that game right here on Channel 98.9 and Facebook Live. Oh, boy. That was strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That ball was on the outside part of the plate.
Correct. But he's been consistent, that official.
Has.
Both sides of the ball.
There's a curveball for strike 3, and Lawrence knew it right away. So strikeout number 2 of the inning, and that's going to bring number 9 hitter Rom to the plate.
Second baseman?
Yep. Ooh.
I didn't see that ball come out of his hand.
High and inside for ball 1.
That was that mystery ball.
That made me want to buckle back here, Pat. 1 ball and no strikes. Number 9 hitter for Westfield, and there's a strike on the outside part of the plate for strike 1, 1-1. Leadoff batter for Westfield, Phillips, is on deck. There's a high fastball that Rom's not able to catch up to for strike 2, and I agree with you, Pat. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3, so 3 strikeouts in the inning for Gabe Roth, and through 3 he's faced 9, so efficient on the infield for the Wolfpack. And after 3 they lead 9-0. We'll be right back after we pay these bills.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause.
So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganello.
I'm Matt Damon, and cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Welcome back to Westfield, New York. Beautiful Westfield, New York, where CSP leads the Wolverines by a score of 9-0. And as we enter the top of the 4th, Trent Burchanowski is going to lead it off for the Wolfpack. Bratton getting a second inning of the game after coming in relief back in the 3rd and pitched the scoreless third, so.
Now there's a gap between right field and center field.
Yeah, big one. That ball's in the dirt. I think it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Correct, yep. I got to say, the last 2 umpires we've had have kept us well aware what the count is.
Yes, they have. There's a ball inside, so 3-1 to the leadoff hitter for the Wolfpack. There's a ball outside, so ball 4. So CSP gets their leadoff runner on, and that's going to bring the number 5 hitter Tate Catanese to the plate.
Flown out to center and had a single in the second inning.
Lots of speed at first with Trent, and CSP's been aggressive all day, Pat. I wouldn't be surprised to see Trent wheeling.
Bratton's going to keep an eye on him, it looks like, but Trent will get himself a good lead.
Yeah, there's a ball in the dirt, and that's going to get by Baum, and Trent's going to round second. And stolen base on the pass ball by Burchanowski. So that's going to put a runner in scoring position for Tate, see if he can get a single here for an RBI.
Oh, he's going to try to get Trent at second.
No luck there. Trent was in with no issues, so here's the 1-0, and there's strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Tate. Sophomore from Panama.
That gap is there still, Kyle, and that is, you and I both know, that's Tate's hitting lane right there.
Would not surprise me if he put one right there, right between center and right. That ball is outside for ball 2. I believe it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And that ball is going to get by Baum, and that's going to allow Trent Burchanowski to make his way to third. So CSP with a runner at third, no outs here in the top of the 4th.
I'm concerned about Tate a little bit here, Kyle, because I think he's tired of walking.
He has had a lot of walks the last.
And he gets another.
He gets another one, so his on-base percentage is fantastic, Pat. So that's going to bring left-handed hitting Grant Lictus to the plate.
I think in the last 3 games, that's his 7th walk.
I told him last night after the game that we were worried he was forgetting how to hit the ball, but so runners at first and third.
Can't imagine Tate's going to be standing there very long.
Nope, no outs. And he checks Tate and then turns back to Trent. But no doing on the bases. So Grant flew out to left field, I believe, his last at bat. And there goes Tate. And they're not going to throw it down. So stolen base for Tate Catanese.
He's had a base hit. Grant's had a base hit, and he flew out to center. He's putting bat on the ball, which is a good sign right here.
Yep.
No outs, guys on second and third.
There's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Yeah, anything to the left-hand side of the field, or I'm sorry, the right-hand side of the field will be a RBI for Grant. And that ball's high and outside.
I can't.
So one ball and 2 strikes.
I can't judge how far this fence is from home plate, Kyle. It's not
It's
real
not,
deep.
No, it's not real deep. I mean, we saw a play with Tate, who's one of the faster kids on the team, and it was, I mean, he made it safe, but it was close.
Yep.
And there's a pop-up down the left field line, and that's going to get out of play.
Yep.
So Grant stays alive. The count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you're watching on Facebook Live today, we got a great feed today. It looks, you can kind of tell how beautiful it looks here in Westfield.
If Grant can hit that down that line like that foul ball right there, that's gonna.
Yep, there he goes. He's making contact. That's foul, so it stays 1 and 2.
I was going to say, if he hits it down that left field line, that kid's shifted way over for him. That would be definitely score the 2 runs.
There's the ball high, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is turning into a pretty good at bat for
3
Grant.
and 2. Umpire says it's 3 and 2. Yeah.
So full count.
We'll
I
take
missed
that.
The ball somewhere. Oh, good job there by Grant to lay off that. Really nice at bat there for Grant. And that's going to load the bases.
Blake
Still no outs. Is that right, Pat?
That's correct. Blake had a double and flew out to left. Still no outs.
So Westfield wants a little meeting of the minds on the mound. And CSP leads 9-0 here in the top of the 4th. No outs, bases loaded. And as Pat mentioned, Blake Copta is going to step to the plate. Blake had a fly out back in the 2nd inning. Is that right, Pat?
Yeah, and then he had a double early in the game. In the 2nd inning, he had a double and flew out in the 3rd. So he's putting bat on the ball also. So that's all we need here. Even a long fly ball will score 1.
Yep. Yeah, there's one right down the middle part of the plate for strike 1. So
Westfield's got the infield in, so they're going to bring that ball home.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So Bratton up early, no balls and 2 strikes. And if you're an infielder for Westfield, at the very least you want to knock it down. Tate's halfway to 3rd already, so. And there's a pop-up. Everybody's got to get back, and they called infield fly there, Pat. Something they should have done the other night when we played, and there was all kinds of confusion. But so that's out number 1 of the inning.
That was called immediately right there.
Yep. Bases remain loaded for Dylan Michael, who singled, I think, back in the 1st.
Singled in the 1st. Yep, struck out in the 3rd. It hit the ball hard right there.
Hard hit ball to center field, and that's going to get over the center field's head and get it to the fence, and that's going to score
1 and 2.
Trent, and that's going to score Tate. So that's and it looks like maybe it went underneath the fence, Pat. So it was a ground rule double. So stand-up double, 2 RBI double for Dylan Michael. And CSP now leads by a score of 11-0. That ball was smoked, Pat, right to center field. That was the deepest part of the.
Would they give him a ground rule double on that?
Yep, ground rule double. I think it rolled underneath the fence.
Well, I got to say that's fortunate for Westfield because Grant was moving.
Grant
he was
gonna
coming
score.
in.
So Grant went from 1st to 3rd on the double. So 1 out here for Caden Beckerink with runners at 2nd and 3rd. when the kid they call Potter is up 2 balls and no strikes.
He's been hitting the ball well as of late. There's
a foul ball right off the inside part of his foot. That's going to sting a little. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Dylan Michael at second, Grant Lictus at third. And there's a pitch that gets away from Bratton. Good job by Baum to corral that, and that's going to bring the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. First base is open. There's a foul tip, I believe, for strike 2. So full count to Caden Beckrink. And there's a shot to the right field, and it's going to be a base hit. That's going to score Grant Lictus, and here comes Dylan Michael across the plate. So 2 RBI single for Caden Beckrink, and that's going to make the score 13-0 here in the top of the 4th. And the coach for Westfield wants to call a quick timeout and get everybody settled down here. So as they take a timeout, we'll take a timeout. Top of the 4th, CSP leads 13-0 with 1 out. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Cornerstone Restaurant and Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. The Cornerstone offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and baked goods. The phone number is 716-234-4002, or find them on Facebook. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Cornerstone in Sherman for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center. Serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at ClymerHardwareandHomeCenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports.
Top of the 4th here. Welcome back. And while we were at break, Westfield decided to make a pitching change. So Bratton is relieved by number 20, Rom. And he comes in a tough spot with a runner at first. And CSP leading 13-0, and he's facing home run hitting Austin White, who back in the first inning put one over the right field fence. And there's a pop-up to second base. And nice play by Bratton. Comes to the plate, who's
all right, Bryce.
Caden Beckrink at first, so we got a lot of speed at first. And that ball is high and outside for ball one. Let's see if Bryce can get one out of the infield here. Two hits have been in the infield. He's reached on both of them, but probably in normal situations would have been ground outs. And there's strike one. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the sophomore from Panama. A little surprised Caden Beckrink isn't taken off, Pat.
Well, I'm thinking coaches are thinking 13-0.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right. So there's strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bryce. He's got to protect now. There's the ball high. Good job by Baum to corral that one. And that's going to pull the count even at 2.
I'm thinking they probably have green light on pass balls and stuff. But
yeah, no, you're right. I didn't even think about the score. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Bryce tries to chase the high fastball and unable to catch up to it. And CSP strands 1, but they get 4 across the plate and make it 13-0 as we enter the bottom half of the 4th inning. We'll be right back.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive. Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center. Serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at ClymerHardwareandHomeCenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
Welcome back as we enter the bottom half of the 4th inning, where CSP leads the Westfield Wolverines by a score of 13-0. And through 3 innings, Gabe Roth has faced the minimum of 9 hitters. So we're now in the 4th inning, and we're just seeing the leadoff man for Westfield up for the 2nd time. You don't see that very often.
No, very seldom do you see that, especially in high school. And Gabe's pitching a good game, and the infield and outfield are playing well. A couple more innings of this, and we can go home and prepare for tomorrow night.
Yep.
I'm not going to know what to do Saturday. We don't have a game.
I'm sure your wife's got a list
So
for you.
there's a honey-do list made, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I make one for myself, so.
So no changes in the field right now for the Wolfpack. And that's going to bring Phillips, I think. That ball went all the way to Tate at third. So that's an early strike 1 for Gabe Roth on Phillips. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. That's not the first time Grant's been hit in the mask like that.
No.
Probably is not going to be the last. So no balls and 2 strikes here. And Phillips fights that one off to stay alive.
People that have never caught before, they got to realize That's the toughest position on the field.
Yep.
You're involved in every play, and
it's terrible on your knees.
Yeah, if I got down there, I wouldn't get up.
That's why you see a lot of major leaguers.
Big curveball for a strike.
Big curveball for a strike. So there's strikeout number 1 of the inning. And that's going to bring Russo, the number 2 hitter, to the plate.
He hit the ball to Austin last time at bat.
Strikeout number 7 for Gabe Roth in the game. There's that curveball in for a strike. That is a nasty pitch.
Yes, it is, and it's working today.
If I'm a Westfield hitter, I'm not even sure I'm going to swing at those. I'm just waiting for the fastball and making contact to that thing.
Like that.
And there's a ground ball to short. Austin White comes up throwing, and that's going to get by Bryce, and that's going to get out of play. That was a tough throw by Austin. He was deep in the hole. He had to backhand that. And so that's the first. We'll give him a hit there, Pat. That's the first hit of the game for Russo. And the first hit of the game for Westfield. I was hoping maybe Bryce could scoop that, Pat, but was unable to do so.
Like you said, though, our position is great, but it's tough to see where that ball's at sometime.
Yeah.
I could see it go to Austin. I didn't see it after he threw it.
Yeah, we're looking through the fence here, and if you're not picking up the ball right away, it is hard to find it.
People at home have a better view than we do right now, that's for sure.
High fastball in for a strike to Bratton. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. CSP leads by a score of 13-0. And we've got action in the Westfield bullpen. And there's strike 2, so no balls and 2 strikes to Bratton, who came in and pitched an inning and a half of relief.
Decent pitch.
Yeah, he did. Gabe was looking at second base, Pat, when he was in his windup and almost till the point he threw the ball.
Yeah, we were always taught, look at that glove, that's where you're going to throw it. He didn't look until he threw it.
There's a curveball in the dirt, and that's going to get away from Grant, and that's going to advance the runner from second to third. So Westfield's got 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, and now has their first base runner of the inning, and he's made his way to third base. So first base runner of the game even. And there's a foul down off the behind home plate. So I think it is 2 balls and 2 strikes, but I'm not positive.
I think you're right.
There's a fastball outside for ball 3, so I think it's full count here to Bratton.
Big curve to strike him out.
That's a nasty curveball there for strikeout number 2 of the inning and strikeout number 8 of the game, and that's going to bring big 99 Fuller to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
There's that curveball again.
Yep. Bailed him. He bailed right out.
Well,
on that.
I watched it like I said earlier. I thought it was going to hit Fuller, and that thing curved right across the plate.
So no balls and 1 strike, and hopefully those at home are getting a good angle on that curveball from Gabe. And there's a high fastball that Fuller's not able to catch up with. So no balls and 2 strikes.
I think that this warmer air helps them curveballs too tremendously. I really do.
Yep.
Strike 3.
And there's strike 3. So Westfield strands one. They get their first hit of the game. But they strand him at third base. And after 4 innings, it is CSP 13, Westfield 0. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher's Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Mosher's has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Welcome back to Westfield, where the Wolfpack lead the Wolverines by a score of 13-0. And we want to thank our sponsors. You've heard them during the breaks, but we want to thank each and every one of the sponsors for allowing us to broadcast these games and bring the games to those that are not able to be in town. And so if you're out and about, I ask that you patronize those that sponsor and allow us to broadcast these games. I'm Kyle Hinsdale, joined by Pat Catanese. And
looks like we have a new pitcher again, Kyle.
Yep.
Phillips going to go to the mound. Got a new catcher also.
And I think we're going to see some different batters for the Wolfpack as well. So up 13-0, this more than likely being the last inning of the game. We'll get a chance to see some substitutions. As we mentioned earlier, CSP will play their fourth and final game of the week tomorrow night, starting at 5 o'clock at Chautauqua Lake. And I've seen mixed reviews on Chautauqua Lake, Pat. I think they're halfway decent.
I think they are too. I think they got some good pitching, yep. I believe. And when we played them in Clymer, they didn't field the ball too bad. I don't remember how they did at the plate, but I think that was another night where we were just hitting the ball very well.
Yeah. Well, tonight is definitely one of those, and it started off up back in the top of the first with the leadoff hitter, Austin White, putting one over the right field fence for home run number 1 of the year for himself and for the CSP as a team. And I'd be curious to ask Austin, Pat, if that might have been his first home run of his career. I don't recall over the past 2 years him hitting a home run before, but it's possible.
Well, he hit that one very well, that's for sure. Yeah, Westfield's got a lot of people in different spots now, so
looks like we're making modifications to our camera angle. We got IT support on it. So as we enter the top of the fifth here with CSP leading 13-0, Gabe Roth, so it's going to be 3, 4, and 5 hitters, but my guess is Gabe may be the only regular that you see get an at-bat here as he faces Phillips, who comes in on relief, and he starts Gabe with the strike, so no balls and 1 strike.
Looks like Tate Newman looks like he's on the deck.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. I do want to shout out, Pat, to the Westfield School District. When we got here, they had table and electric all ready for us.
Yeah, that makes our life a lot easier.
Makes our life a whole lot easier, so appreciate the work that they did getting ready. And there's a pop-up on the infield, and second baseman Vacante is going to get underneath it, and that's going to be out number 1 of the inning. And that's going to bring big Tate Newman to the plate.
Batting for Trent.
You got to like the no batting gloves look. And there's strike number 1 to Tate. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and there's a good cut there by Tate just underneath it. So no balls and 2 strikes to the senior from Panama.
Good eye.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our camera was in a great spot, so it must have got hit at some point in time. And so for those, there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Tate Newman strikes out for out number 2. And that's going to bring Skylar Burke to the plate, seeing one of his few first at-bats of the year. There's strike number 1 on the outside part of the plate. So Phillips coming in here for the Wolverines and being relatively efficient. Got Gabe to pop up and struck out Tate Newman. And that ball's in the dirt. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Burke. Top of the 5th. Score of 13-0, and that ball was high fastball that Burke swung at.
Wasn't real high to Skyler, though.
No, that's right.
He's a tall boy.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Got a good stance. Good cut.
There's a swing and a miss, and that is strikeout number 2 of the inning. And out number 3. So Westfield goes 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 5th. CSP 3 outs away from getting their 3rd victory of the week. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause.
So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
As we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganiello.
I'm Matt Damon, and cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Welcome back, where Gabe Roth looks to get 3 outs here and get a complete game.
I think we have a new batter here, Kyle.
5-inning win, and this is new batter Katie for Westfield. And it's ball outside for ball 1. We'll say Gabe's not lost any juice on that fastball, Pat. And there's strike 1 to Katie. No defensive substitutions for the Wolfpack to start this bottom of the 5th. 13-0 Wolfpack. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So Gabe ahead early here, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's digging in there, Kyle.
He is digging in for sure. And there's strike 3, so out number 1 of the inning. And that's going to bring number 3, Corbett, to the plate. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1, so Gabe is in the groove here, Pat, as we close out the 5th inning. Ball high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, if Gabe can finish this out, Kyle, this is going to be the one of the shortest games we've had this year.
Yeah. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Well, we went 3 innings where Gabe faced the minimum, right? So that makes it quick. And then first 2 innings, you had Vacante.
Quick pitching, yeah.
Going 100 miles an hour on the mound for Westfield. So I think it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the batter here. There's swing and a miss for strike 3, so second strikeout of the inning, and CSP is 1 out away from notching might be their 10th win of the season. And that, Pat, is, I believe, strikeout maybe number 10?
11.
11. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1.
No, that's 11 for him.
And this is Stellhorn for swing and a miss for strike 2. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3, so 3 strikeouts to end the bottom of the 5th. And Gabe gets his 12th strikeout, giving up 1 hit tonight through 5 innings of shutout baseball. So, in a week where we needed good pitching, Pat, we got it from Gabe and Blake on Monday night, and Bryce and
Trent
last night, and Gabe did it all himself tonight. And so CSP gets their third win of the week.
By my count, Kyle, he only faced 16 batters.
So that's one more than the limit, right? He's 5 innings.
5 innings times 3 would be 15. Yeah.
Yeah, we only gave up 1 hit.
Yep.
Everybody else was.
Yeah.
So real efficient real efficient game for Gabe Roth. And so CSP will conclude their week tomorrow night at Chautauqua Lake with a 5 p.m. start. And it's a good week to get underneath our belt. We got some tough games coming up with, in particular, Frewsburg next Tuesday night. And
Kyle,
so
I'm trying to hurt your dog here. He's wrapped himself up in my cord.
So I would imagine we'll see Austin White and Tate Catanese tomorrow night. They've yet to go this week, so those are 2 arms that we want to at least get some innings this week as we get ready for the home stretch next week. And so any final thoughts, Pat?
So next week is the end of the regular season, isn't it? We got 3 games next week, and then we're into playoffs.
Yeah,
wow.
I think that's right.
Well, I think that if we can keep hitting the ball like we did tonight, we can't get up there and be nervous. Just hit the ball and let it fall where it may. And the boys we're hitting singles tonight. That first at bat, everybody tried to power it, and then they realized just hit singles and we'll score runs.
Yep.
And with Gabe throwing like he was, it's tough to beat. It's tough to beat us that way. He was very efficient tonight. Threw a lot of strikes. Didn't have a lot of struggles. I don't know if he went 3 and 2 with only 1 or 2 batters, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice game by him.
And he had the curveball really going tonight, Pat. We had a great angle, as did the viewers at home. Had a great angle of that curveball, and it was breaking a good foot.
Oh, absolutely.
Foot 2 feet, and getting in there for strikes. So
yeah, from my angle, there was a couple times I thought he was going to hit the kid, and it curved in for a strike. So.
Yeah. So, quick game here, hour and 38 minutes. We've had games where it took us an hour and 38 minutes to play 3 innings.
Yes.
But CSP puts one in the win column. So, for Pat Catanese, I'm Kyle Hinsdale. CSP with a 13-0 win over the Westfield Wolverines. We will see you right back here on Channel 98.9 tomorrow night as the Wolfpack take on the Thunderbird of Chautauqua Lake at 5 p.m. Have a good evening.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by J. Edwards Insurance in Panama and Jamestown, Mosher Carpeting in Clymer, Land Pro Equipment in Clymer and Falconer, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, the Cornerstone Restaurant in Sherman, Clymer Hardware and Home Center.com, Triple E Manufacturing, TripleEMFG.com, Countertop Solutions, and by Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer, LictusOilandPropane.com. Tune in next time for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball.